Hello, and welcome to My Vow to My Liege. And, yeah, this is a game that I just found on Steam. I have no idea what it's about. And, well, I know a little bit of it, but mostly I just read a few chapters. Well, not chapters, more like a few minutes of this, and yeah, I got a bit of what I needed to know. It's something to do with royalty and stuff. Anyway, yeah. Oh, and then I guess this one, I guess it's gonna be a bit short-lived. It's gonna be on hiatus maybe, since I read the conditions and all that. That I'm just gonna have to apparently keep myself from spoiling too much of this, because, you know, this is still a new game. And yeah, let's start. So, yes. There's these ones, and then there's the conditions. So I can only read up to 4 chapters. First 4 of the game. That makes sense. And then I had to keep in mind of the official announcements regarding the other chapters, as they will be unlocked respectively. So yeah, let's go. In time of myths and legends, under the mandate of heaven, King Wu overthrew the corrupt King Yu and started the Zhao dynasty of peace and prosperity. The good king secretly created the golden script to communicate with the gods and the demons. He took a sacred vow with the heavens in exchange of the divine right to rule his government would be one with virtue. Using the golden script, he carved this vow onto a large bronze vessel. The ding of virtue. The vow and the ding were passed down through generations of kings until it came into the hands of the corrupt King Ping, who broke the vow and lost the ding. The secret existence of the golden script then came to light, and the peace and prosperity of the Zhao dynasty started to wane as the lands broke into smaller warring states. A time of chaos and turmoil had returned as countries prepared for yet another war. Nice. So this is gonna be the thing. Honestly, I don't even know what to name my character. Well then, that was an interesting intro. So, here we are, the beginning. The darkening skies that foretell the coming of impending rain. feel suffocating. An island shrouded in the mist stands in the middle of Lake Tai. At the heart of this island, on an altar, stand two banners with faded golden lines. Around them stand a group of motionless priestesses on ground that has been tainted red with blood. Interesting. It's pretty dark. Ah, these people are pretty. Before a large rectangle bronze ding, the head priest and head priestess lead a liturgical procession. God damn it, it's so hard to even read long words sometimes. Procession headed by my royal father, He Lu, and all members of his household, including my brothers and I. Everyone here is well aware that this autumn's offering ceremony is anything but usual. We will soon be executing the dragon god that our country has worshipped for generations. Interesting. Fu Chai, my third brother who is standing next to me, keeps shivering with fear. Even though he is a year older than me, his lack of courage is alarming. I clench the jade fish amulet that Yi Guang lent to me for protection as I steel myself. Shi Yi Guang, the son of the head priest and priestess, is currently east of Lake Tai on Tiger Hill, tending to the magical array that is set up there to seal the god. If we fail to execute the dragon god here, we will be able to seal him on Tiger Hill. The Shi family does indeed live up to their reputation for being the most formidable priests and priestesses in the Ying kingdom. Ning? I'm sorry. I am trying really hard to learn how to pronounce Chinese names. And, you know, I hope I'm not butchering anything. My father, the king, takes the incense from the head priest and bows reverently to the sacred ding. Even though we are far away from the Tiger Hill, we will see the smoke rising from its fiery beacon, a sign that Yi Guang is ready to seal off the god. There is no way for my father to withdraw from this battle.
龙神只能辅助，今日一事，关乎吴国社稷，寡人不能败。
A sense of resolution can be seen on my father's expression. I take a deep breath only to have my senses assaulted by the stench of rotten fish, which makes it hard to breathe. That does sound terrible. The putrid soil, withered reeds, and the smell of blood. Pull yourself together, Kay. You are, after all, the royal princess of Ning. Ying? I'm sorry. I quietly tell myself. Although Yi Guang and I are both 14 years old, he's already shouldering so many responsibilities while I still have so much room to improve. The autumn offering ritual is beginning. The priestesses start their ritual chants, like the smoke from the burning incense. The sound of their chanting drifts away on the wind towards the lake. The head priest and priestess start dancing to the chants. Their long sleeves trail gracefully behind them like the wings of a white crane taking flight, or the fins of a fish in water. This is my first time seeing the sacred, transcending fish dance. I'm entranced. Fu Chai gently tugs at my sleeve to make me realize that our two older brothers have already walked towards reaching onto the ding and are now placing something onto their lips. It's blood. Staring at the red, viscous liquid in the bronze ding, I feel a sense of dreaded apprehension in the pit of my stomach. I quickly touch some of the blood to my lips. That strange, greasy feeling still lingers in my fingertips. On my fingertips. Sorry. We summon the power of heaven to slay the dragon god. To be shining da-da-da-da. Okay, I just read that so slow. Together with the crowd, I start to chant the words of our vow with a troubled heart. Slaying a god. What an insane notion. As we chant, bits of golden light float out my father's body to merge with the golden beam of light that is emitting from the center of the bronze ding. Looking at myself and my 3 older brothers, it seems that we are in the same transcendental state as our father. As the head priest and priestess dance, the banners start to flutter in the wind. The golden beam pierces the dark clouds, breaking them apart to reveal a clear, bright autumn sky. Must be. It's interesting. And then I just closed the window by accident. Whoops, sorry. Oh. A black arrow flies through the air and lands at my father's feet. Over 100 black-robed priests surround the altar. The one who appears to be leading them is the previous head priest, Mage Xian. Didn't he defect to another country many years ago?
无耻河驴，竟敢背叛历代巫王和龙神结下的神盟！姬无成仁德通天道，岂可再屈从此等鬼神妖物？
Without any hesitation, my father draws out his sword. At the altar, the black and white figures intertwine in the chaos to create a third color, red. One by one, young priests start falling to the men in the black robes, their beautiful faces and supple bodies breaking into pieces of meat. Oh, that's very graphic. As blood flows like water into the lake, I can hear rumbling sounds coming from all 4 corners of the lake, like that of a monster leaping out of the water. Oh wow, it's bloody. This is the first time that I have ever laid eyes on the dragon god. This gigantic white creature is beautiful, yet terrifying. I stand motionlessly, unable to take my gaze off the creature. As I stand before this absolute power, I feel so insignificant, it feels like an offense. I am caught off guard when the head priestess pulls me away and into the bosoms of my older brothers before calling forth her magical swords of water. They miss me by the skin of my teeth as they fly towards the dragon god and pierce him. Mage Xian shoots us a malicious glare.
今日就让你们见识见识真正的神威！
Oh no! He gives a long whistle, summoning tall columns of muddy water from the lake. In an instant, they rush at the head priest and my brothers, and all who are there to safeguard us.
无限！
My father gives a roar of anguish that resounds in all directions as the phrase, "We failed to kill the dragon god," shrills repeatedly in my ears.
河驴，你的子嗣俱亡，你死之前就好好品味品味这等绝望的滋味吧。
The dead bodies of my brothers are suspended by columns of brackish water. A severed pinky lands at my feet. Which of my brothers did this belong to? I cannot endure it anymore and throw up on the ground. Trying hard to contain her grief, the head priestess calls forth an ice blade that pierces through the sacred ding. In my state of semi-consciousness, I hear her call out,
请李环为我令，转阵为锋。
A bright white light emits out from the belly of Ding and transforms into a large ferocious tiger. It pins down the head of the dragon inside the vessel and shatters it into tiny pieces. That terrifying dragon, like a dying fish, lies on the altar twitching weakly and helplessly. Its colossal body quickly disintegrates, giving off the strong stink of rotten fish.
神君!
Oh no. Oh no. So sad. All of a sudden, Mage Jian furiously stabs a short blade into the back of the head priestess, and with that, the white tiger suddenly disappears. That sucks. Man, this place is awful. Oh man. I stare mindlessly at the sacred ding as it gives off its last bit of golden light before observing the body of the dragon inside of it. Mage Jian, like a madman, pounces towards it. Oh man. From behind Mage Jian, my father cuts his head off cleanly with a blow of his sword. Before my eyes, fresh red blood trails from the severed head as it lets out a hideous laugh. Man, this feels pretty epic.
背叛者的血脉必将众叛亲离，今日之恨必将千百倍还至你身。国破家亡，灰飞烟灭。
Saying this, Mage Jian's head explodes. Droplets of his blood turn to blades as they fly at me. My mind goes blank. The blades of blood fall short, less than a few inches away as I unconsciously clutch the amulet with only one name on my lips. Yi Guang. Oh yeah. Am I gonna meet this boy? When? And who is he? What does he look like? Liege. My liege. That's what he said. Ah. Shen Fang, is that you?
少君，您刚刚一直在呓语。
My chest. The sacred seal that is on my chest is hurting terribly again. It hurts to the point that I can't even cry out. With trembling hands, I search for the thing that I need so desperately. Where is it? Where could it be?
少君，鱼在这里。
Okay. I press the amulet to my chest as its icy coldness slowly eases the pain until it completely fades away. Nice. The pain is now replaced by a feeling of intense abhorrence. This vile sacred seal on my chest is proof of my detestable connection to the dragon god. Even now, with that monster sealed up on Tiger Hill, the vow that put me in this situation has yet to be broken. This torturous pain that flares up whenever and wherever has caused me a lot of misery. Yeah, your past is very traumatic. That's a lot of bodies you witnessed. And your family, all gone. What happened to your mom, though? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was talking over you. When my loyal guard sees my pale and exhausted expression, he gently continues to wipe away my cold sweat. Although he and I are long used to these situations, what feels really out of place is the dream that I just had. It felt so real. We just dreamt about the incident that happened 5 years ago.
我在这里陪着你。
I give a bitter laugh. Shenfeng's loyalty is unquestionable, but we both know that this burden is mine, alone to bear. Bear. Goddamn. Shenfeng, do you think that there's a problem with the seal? Could that be why the former king and our older siblings have entered our dreams, urging us to break this sacred vow as soon as possible? Interesting that we're using we, our, like now.
只是因为先王忌日将近。
Is that so?
施家咒力强大，余域尚且能用，何况是凝结全族心血的封神阵？
Blood, sweat, and tears. Flesh and blood is more like it. Now, help us bathe and change our clothes.
少君，昨日之事让你心忧至此，还是休朝为好。
Are you saying that we are unable to handle that pesky envoy from Key?
臣封不敢。
Change our clothes. Shenfeng insists me as I walk up to the throne. Luckily, the curtains are closed so no one can see how helpless their king is. Prime Minister, tell us what is on today's agenda. Prime Minister.
启禀大王，武相国今日并未上朝。
Oh, whoops. I always hit the spacebar by accident. It just eliminates the seriousness of the situation. But yeah, a lot of things has happened. And I kind of wonder, it looks like we're the king, not a princess. Or, well, I don't know what I am. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we're always using the we and our type of thing. Is he ill?
武相国昨日还精神奕奕地与臣争论，何病之有啊？
Then does Does Minister Bone know the reason for the Prime Minister's absence?
这个臣不知。
Alright. Other than the death anniversary of his father and brothers, Wu Zixu has never missed a day of court. He comes in early every day to organize his reports and documents. That is why the other ministers have taken to call him Prime Minister of the Fourth Watch behind his back. But now it is already near the end of the Fifth Watch. I look towards Shenfeng. He nods his head in acknowledgement and quietly takes his leave.
浩浩如都，竟然把相国都丢了，也难怪找不回敝国的小小史官了。
How rude.
公孙乙，你区区一个齐国使臣，怎能随意闯进吴国朝堂？
是你们大王允诺，我可在姑苏城内外寻找我国失踪的随臣。
That is the rudest thing ever.
大王，难道您这吴公不在姑苏城内吗？
巧言令色。
We understand that you have your duties to carry out, and that is why we have already sent guards to search outside the city and the surrounding villages, so please do not worry.
大王休要用这话打发我。史官明明就是在虎丘山下遭遇歹人失踪的，为何不准我等上山寻人？
虎丘乃是吴国先王陵墓，岂能容你们这些外人造次？
既然是陵墓重地，怎么还会遇上蒙面歹徒呢？
少来咄咄逼人，礼道何存？
怕是你们吴国失礼在先。我公诚心诚意要与吴国结为兄弟之邦，才来与大王商议联姻之事。没想到大王模棱两可，就这么一天天吊着我们。如今救人之事又推三阻四，这难道是你们吴国特有的待客之礼不成？又叫我齐国如何敢来结盟？
Dude, I don't know what your problem is, but you do know you are in a different country talking to the king in such a harsh way in front of his face. Do you not value your life?
其实再三失礼于大王与吴国，大王还要忍到什么时候？
Gongsun Yi, are you threatening us?
不敢，只是心中存疑。
Dude, you were being an
还望大
asshole in
王
front of
指
us.
控
Sure you are. There's no reason for you to be an asshole about it, though. We also hope that you understand that when the envoys of Qi were granted an audience, we had no knowledge of the aforementioned archival officer. And now you would slight your kingdom's ally just to look for someone as insignificant as him. We have treated you and your men as distinguished guests, fed you the same food as we eat, and have even ignored the fact that you have intruded on our court. Yet you scorn and humiliate us in front of all our ministers and officers. How dare you, Gongsun Yi? Before I can finish my sentence, everyone in the courtroom has their hands on the hilt of their swords. Gongsun Yi and his men take a few steps back in alarm. Gongsun Yi recollects himself and bows to me with a hand-on-hand salute.
是外臣失礼了。
Yeah, you were rude.
失踪史官乃我世教，盼大王宽宏大度，不计我情急之光。
Uh-huh.
然而，联姻事关两国邦交，若不能完成我公交代给我的任务，还要让我公蒙羞，倒真不如一死谢罪。
Fine. It is only natural that your heart would be troubled when such situations arise. Just when the ministers are about to protest in anger, I raised my hand to stop them. It is pointless to allow this argument to become personal, as for us to become the laughingstock of the kingdom. Mr. Sunggong, man, I said it wrong. That's what happens when I attempt to do things. Mr. Gongsan, in admiration to your loyalty, we will let you off this one time. But next time, we hope that you will be more discerning over what is more important.
多谢大王。
Actually, it is not that we are unwilling to marry your kingdom's princess, nor are we trying to make things difficult for you. It has yet to be 3 years since the former king died, and we had hoped to review the marriage proposal after his approaching death anniversary. Please rest at the guest house for the next 2 days while we personally go to King Hill to find... Oh, wait. Tiger Hill, sorry. To find your missing officer.
既然吴王承诺，外臣回去便是。但2日后，若还不能见到人，外臣就不得不亲自上山寻人了。
Relax. Relax. I'm kidding. I'm so nonchalant about this. I'm sorry, sir. I know you've lost a family member, but I've lost all of my family members, so I'm being, generous by helping you find yours. Men, send Mr. Gongsan back to the guest house and attend to his every need. I heave a sigh of relief as I see Gongsan Yi leave. My body crumbles involuntarily where I sit. A pair of familiar hands steady me as a calm voice drifts to my ears.
上朝前，有白衣侍童拜访相国府，之后相国便随他匆匆出城了。
In white. Could it be someone from the temple on Tiger Hill?
相国确实是向城北而去。
For the envoy of Qi to cause such an uproar over such a lowly official. We're afraid that there is more than meets the eye in this simple diplomatic relationship. Xin Feng, bring us back to our chamber to change our clothes. We want to look for the Prime Minister personally.
No. 少君的中衣都已湿透，还是留在宫里休息为妥。
If our clothes were wet, then all we need to do is change into dry ones. Help us change our clothes. I spread my arms in front of the mirror to reveal a pale, thin body with hard lines and scars from years of practicing martial arts. Yet, I have the soft breasts of a woman. I have a handsome face. Ooh. Look, this body has long been ruined beyond recognition. There isn't an ounce of womanly features left. I am neither a princess nor a king. I am a monster. Come on, you don't look bad. What are you talking about? You are fine.
吴国有了少君，才得以延续。
Is that so? Then why do I have to be humiliated like I was today? Keep wasting my energy on Gongsan Yi. Only a man can continue the family name. As long as I keep pretending to be a man, the kingdom of Ning can continue on for generations to come. And the other kingdoms would not dare trample on mine.
少君为王，不逊色于世间任何男儿。
Aw, you're so sweet. Really? Maybe so, but people are superficial and would rather have a monster than a woman as their king.
少君何苦这么轻贱自己？
Myself. I no longer have a sense of self. Perhaps in a few more months, we would need to take a wife and have sons. Chen Feng, do you think that the sacred seal on my chest has changed a bit of its color?
臣没有细看过。
Forget it. Once it turns completely black, our death will be imminent.
使臣们已从各地寻来神器，积少成多，定能破除神盟。
Ah, those are fakes. Just like us.
大王，
What is it?
相国派人送的信来。
Shen Fang quickly steps out of the room only to return with a tightly rolled up piece of cloth. Read.
寂渺生变，速来虎丘。
The Prime Minister has good foresight. He knew that we would go search for him.
恳请少君多保重，派陈峰去见相国吧。
This is urgent. Prepare the carriage. Carriage. That's what I said. The late coming spring grows grasses and trees lusciously green. Overhead, the orioles sing, while winsome villagers tend shoot spring. I cannot admire this beautiful scenery before me. Even though Xinfeng did not prevent me from leaving the palace, I take a revitalizing pill just to be safe. The bitter taste that fills my mouth serves as a constant reminder to protect this broken body. Suddenly, Xinfeng clutches the hilt of his sword. What is wrong?
守灵人的屋子那边围着士兵。
Ah, who is it? What is it? What happened? Let's take a look.
大王，
Hey. Has something happened over there? Over here?
武相国令我们在此看管守灵人勾践，他是杀人嫌犯。
Murder? Murder means someone is dead. Yeah, I know what murder is. I'm sorry. For Wu Shishu to be so anxious. I hope I didn't say this really weirdly. Could it be that the victim is the missing archival officer from the Kingdom of Qi? Or... As I push aside the soldier to go into the caretaker's hut, I hear a loud cry from within.
是谁？
Hearing the familiar voice, my mind foggy from the medication suddenly becomes clear. I cannot go in as the King of Ing.
相国有令，不准和任何人交谈。
任何人？难道冰大哥你不是人吗？
他娘的！
I hear the muffled sound of a heavy force hitting soft flesh. Stop. Everything goes silent inside the house. Although I do not want to rush headfirst into things, I cannot sit idly by and do nothing, right? Until we have all the details, no one is to treat the suspect so harshly.
诺。
The sound of galloping horses grows louder and louder behind me. I turn around to see a pair of fierce, majestic eyes looking straight at me, right at me. A white-haired man reins in his horse and looks down at me from its back. Prime Minister. Wu Shu greets me casually with a hand-on-hand salute. He takes a sidelong glance at the crude stone house where Gujian is being held.
都到这时候了，少君还有心顾念那只白眼狼吗？
You heard us. Gujian is still the king of Yue after all. Let's not go overboard.
他既已入吴为奴，就应该安守本分。
I mean, no. Not even as a slave, you shouldn't. What the hell am I talking about? I don't approve slaves, you know? Bruh. I don't approve slavery. Anyway, Wu Shu hardens his expression and throws me unceremoniously onto the back of his horse. Prime Minister?
陈峰，跟上。
Wu Shu starts out in a gallop as he heads to the temple at the top of the hill. He stretches out his thin arms to hold me firmly by the waist without the slightest intention of slowing down. Although he has always done as he likes, he would never let me come to any harm. I secretly let out a sigh as I lean my body up against his. The faint, disgusting stink of rotten fish wafts by. I notice that Wu Zishu. His hand is stained with dried blood. Are you hurt?
这是大柱的血。
Head priest. Is this the reason you left the city at dawn today?
大柱派人通知臣，有几位黑衣覆面的贼人闯入了祭庙禁地，臣不得已先行赶往祭庙，没能及时告知少君。
Men dressed in black? Could it be?
正是巫显一党的余孽。5年前，先王和臣将吴国各地的龙神信徒剿灭殆尽，已经很久没听到他们的消息了。如今，他们竟敢大摇大摆地侵入虎丘禁地，恐怕是为了被封印在内的龙神而来。
How did the intruders get past the guards on Tiger Hill and into the Forbidden Temple? What did the head priest say?
臣还在调查，大柱他受伤了。
Interesting. Alright. I feel a sharp pain in my chest as I recall the aftermath of a failed attempt to execute the dragon god, as well as the nightmare that I had this morning. Alright. This is gonna be interesting. Oh dear. Alright. The smell of blood is getting stronger as we get close to the temple. Lying in front of the temple gates, next to some trees, are 2 corpses covered in hay. Xinfeng parts the hay to look underneath it. One of the men is dressed all in black, and the other is just another warrior. The tattoos on the face of the man in black look almost identical to the sacred seal on my chest.
少君，
Hello. An elegant and delicate-looking youth steps out of the temple. It is the head priest, Zhengdan. The linen that is wrapped around his wrists shows trails of blood. He notices the direction of my gaze.
小伤，不碍事的，让少君担心了。
Where's the centurion who was on duty last night? We need to punish him for neglecting his duties.
那群歹人是龙神信徒，善用妖法，又是半夜侵入，也难怪守卫们没有察觉。
A group.
有3个。凌晨时，我听到庙外传来一声凄厉尖叫，怕是什么鬼魅之物，便亲自出来查看。
Oops. Sorry for yawning. Oh, that sucks, man.
没想到，看到3位黑衣人在围攻一位少年和一位武士。
Oh no. What was it the warrior laying over there?
正是。武士当时为保护少年，已经受了致命伤，歹人们听到动静就要逃跑，被我拦住了。
Even if you can use magic, the odds of winning 3 against 1, especially with hostages to consider, are not good.
少君教训的是，只是当时也没想那么多。等我击杀了其中1个，才发现他们的来头。本打算留个活口，反倒被他们钻了空子。剩下2个人带着那少年逃跑了。
大柱说那2人都受了伤，其中1个伤了腹部，还比较重。臣已经派人去追寻他们的踪迹了。
相国想得周到。这等血腥之事，我不想惊扰少君，才派人找来了相国。没想到相国给我说了齐国史官失踪一事。
那武士的打扮与吴国士兵的不同，臣妄自揣测，被挟持的少年便是昨日失踪的齐国史官。
I carefully examined the warrior's armor to find that it is, as Wu Zishu says, I have to admit, his powers of I tripped now. That is a long sentence. His powers of observation and deduction are very keen. These people must be the villains that Gongsang Yi spoke of. Leaving aside the reason why they would kidnap someone from Qi, if they are trying to infiltrate the Forbidden Temple, they must be attempting to undo the spell that has sealed the Dragon God.
我查看过陵墓附近，倒没有什么异状。
We would still feel better if we could see it for ourselves, I mean. Prime Minister, we want you to chase down the 2 intruders and rescue the archival officer.
臣会亲自去寻。
Xinfeng, I want you to help the Prime Minister.
诺。
Prime Minister, when you get back, we would like more details on why you think the King of Yue murdered someone.
诺。
There's a clear pond behind my royal father, Helu's dedicated hall. Beside the pond is the hidden entrance to where the Dragon God is sealed. Looking at the sacred seal engraved on the stone tablet surrounding the pond, I involuntarily clutched the clothes covering my chest. That beautiful and magnificent pattern depicts the endless, dark abyss that has swallowed up the countless souls of Ning's kings. I, too, am one step away from that abyss. Ah, that sucks, man.
剑池没有入侵痕迹，又需少君和我协力才能开启。逆贼就算进到这里，也只能干瞪眼。
Okay. We know that you have always been a cautious person, and so we are not just worried about what happened outside the sword pond, but also over the chief culprit who is locked up inside.
查验风阵总是妥当些，还请少君赐写。
I make a small cut on my finger with the dagger and press the bloody tip against the seal engraved by the entrance. Yeah. The same seal at the bottom of the pond starts to give off a faint red light. Zhengdan casts a spell that magically drains the pond. Interesting. Oh, okay. When the seal turns completely red, the bottom of the stone pond transforms into 2 doors that slide apart to reveal a flight of steps leading downwards. I take a deep breath and smell the faint stink of rotten fish. I am unaware of the smell. Oh, I am unsure if the smell is coming from outside the temple or from my memory of that terrible experience 5 years ago. That sucks. I'm so sorry that you hate fish smells now. We follow the steps down and enter a spacious hall at the bottom. This is a naturally formed cave. In the middle is an altar that was carved out of the cave itself. The walls are covered with spells that glow a faint fluorescent blue. 3,000 sacred swords that give off a cold blue light are stacked to the ground around the altar in a tight formation. In the middle of the altar sits a large bronze vessel, the Ding of Virtue. This brings to mind the nightmare from earlier on. It makes the image of the dragon's crushed head in the square visage seem all too real.
自从5年前德鼎封了龙神精魂后，就一直散发着怨恨之气。加上池底阴寒，少君不能在这里耽搁太久。
Sure, we just want to take a look before we leave.
那我来为少君引路。
Oh my god, I just noticed an echo. Wow. Alright. Zheng Dan writes a spell in the air. The swords that were stacked into the ground around the altar part to form a very narrow pathway. I approach the square ding and stroke it softly. Not only does the ding hold the resentment and hatred of the dragon god, it also holds that of my own feelings and those who've died. I walk halfway through the ding and am suddenly struck by something unusual on its surface. Head priest, can the ding be damaged by outside forces?
德鼎是天子与天道结盟时所入的盟术，有神力相护，历经100年依然如新，不会轻易破损。
Look over here.
这是。
We both turn pale as we touch the crack on the ding. Although it is a very thin crack, it spans the entire belly of the ding, and its edges are turning black. Your nation will crumble. Families will be torn apart. Everything you treasure will turn to ash and dust.
少君。
This is not good, head priest. The sacred seal on our chest was acting up again this morning.
难怪少君起色不佳。
If it hadn't been for that, we would not have come to the bottom of this pond. The followers of the dragon god are active right now, and this crack. Head priest, is the dragon god going to break free? Zhengdan clutches my cold, clammy hands tightly. An unfamiliar, terrifying stillness descends into the bottom of the sword pond.
少君莫要吓唬自己。封神阵本来就是权宜之计，靠德鼎神力维持，经年累月，德鼎肯定有所损耗。我们只要抓紧时间，找到能诛灭龙神惊魂的神器，大鼎也就能功成身退了。
For the past 5 years, the former king and us have tirelessly searched for such an artifact, but have yet to find neither hide nor hair of one.
这座德鼎，也是先王屡次伐楚，流了多少血，破了多少城，千辛万苦才从楚国国都寻来的。神器如果都那么容易被找到，还能叫神器吗？
For the entirety of his life, the former king thought of nothing but how to execute the dragon god, and he fought bloody battles to break the sacred vow. So how can we forget his unfulfilled wish so easily? I tenderly stroked the crack as my father's final moments came to mind, all too vividly.
子胥，寡人的3个儿子都在太湖被龙神杀了，只剩下他了。这2年来，他都借着老三夫差的名义，由你教导。如今，寡人大限将至，这神盟印也传到了他身上。吴国能否存续，就看你的了。如果顺利过了继位这关，即可为他秘密举办婚礼。寻找神器、破神盟和延续吴国血脉这2件事，都不能耽误。姬吾祖先被龙神欺骗，代代吴王都被逼以自身魂魄为祭品。可总有些族人总觉得，只要满足他，就能永保安宁。真是太蠢！只有你能继承寡人的志向， 子胥会帮你排除一切障碍。记住，只有用血把我们自己的命运夺回来，才叫天之正道。一无忘仇，誓破山盟。
Oh, Father. We will forget not our revenge, and we swear to break this sacred vow. No matter what, we cannot let the dragon god escape and become a blight on the people of this kingdom.
我明白，但我曾听一言：欲速，则不达。施家曾是吴越第一武，倾尽全族之力，才勉强封印住龙神的精魂。我们更要谨慎小心才是。
So, even if we worry ourselves to death over this whole affair, it will all be for naught.
虽然急，却到不了那个地步。
Zheng Dan raises his eyebrows as his facial features finally relax. I don't know if he's trying to reassure me, or if he is confident that everything will be fine. It'll be well. We will persist in looking for a sacred artifact while we continue to rely on you to stabilize the sealing spell.
诺。不过，希望少君还答应我一件事。
What is it?
尽量少叹气，叹气呢，会将运气吹跑的。
Okay. I'm sorry. I sigh. I'm one of those people who like to sigh a lot because, I don't know, we're tired. Zhang Dan puts a finger to the corner of his lips and releases a sly smile. I can't help but nod my head. I keep feeling a sharp stabbing pain in my chest and wonder if it is because of the cold that I feel from being at the bottom of the pond.
少君，大柱。
Anyway, yeah, it's been a few... I mean, it's been almost an hour, so I guess I'm gonna have to stop here. So yeah, thanks for watching. And yeah, this is kind of our new thing. So yeah, goodbye.